Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Brian Galke. Aces 53, and it seems like Monday all over again.
Yeah. I'm still getting caught up. Florida 1 week and then California the next week, then back home. My time zones were still.
Before we get anything, I saw a post of yours. I thought you were somewhere today speaking at a speaker conference. You
I
were
did that. I got tagged and stuff. So I spoke on Saturday. There was a Toastmasters event. So it's kind of funny. I spoke for Toastmasters, but I've never been in Toastmasters. I like went and visited a meeting once, but it was in Dallas. Now you may have seen. I was at CryoCon on Friday of last week.
It was something about speaking, and you learned a lot in the first tons of notes, and you only been there a short period.
Oh, that was a week ago. That was the event.
But that's not what it was like. A recent post is how it showed.
So, it's interesting that you say that. You probably saw it on Facebook. I noticed Facebook is reposting stuff a week or two later for a lot of people because somebody put out something. I'm like, well, wait a minute, that you did that 2 weeks ago. And sure enough, it was like from May 3rd. And it's just now showing me their feed now. So I don't know if it's finding relevant content and putting it back out. Like, is it another algorithm change? I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird because it made it look like you just did that,
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at my phone. I apologize. Same thing I do to yell at my co-host on my other show.
Yeah.
The problem is he's like, dude, we're back here. Come on.
I have to get to the point, like, I can't, even when I have the Instagram open, I'm like, only have when it's Instagram live reading, because if not, I'll be like, and then what happened was, but yeah, so it is showing older posts but it's showing it in my current feed. I noticed that because, like I said, literally something, I took a picture of that person. So it was when it was an Amberley's event, which was 3 weeks ago, but it just was showing to me like it happened today. And I'm like, wait, that's old. And I was wondering, were they waiting this long to post about it? It wasn't. It literally said down below like May 3rd or whatever the date was for it. So it's getting to be interesting. All right, what'd you get into over the weekend?
Just work at the house.
So you did physical labor?
Well, let's see. Saturday I worked out in the morning, and then next we had to go somewhere and come back, put a barbecue together, and then move stuff around out in our area. Boo hoo hoo.
Yeah.
And then Sunday I did a few other things and worked in the garage, rearranged my workout area, and I broke a TV last week. So what happened is I had
throwing weight at it.
Yeah, I was so pissed. It was some political thing. I was so pissed at it. No, what happened is it was a big TV. It was like a 52-inch, and I just fit it into my area because I didn't want to buy another one. Well, it was right by my rack, and I was pulling down a barbell, and I just happened to touch it just lightly.
Yeah.
But the problem is it was an old, 5 or 6 year old TV. It was the one that came out. I think it had 3D, so it was hot. It was like a hot TV that gave a lot of temperature off of it. So
gotcha.
I went and got a new one from Costco for like $240 whatever, and it's a 43, fits above where I'd want to put it in the first place. Rearrange all that area, move my barbells up high so they're out of my way and only I can reach them. My wife would be going on tiptoes trying to get out there.
Man, see, that's why all I have is kettlebells. Don't need.
I have them too. I got the animal ones.
Oh, you got the animal ones, the primal ones.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah. What do you call it? I have the kettlebells. I started doing that last year when I started this whole get into better shape at home stuff. And man, I freaking love kettlebells. There's so many different things you can do with them that I hardly ever pull out my dumbbell and bumpers anymore. Just because
you only have 5-pound dumbbells, why would you pull them out?
Well, it's 2.5. But thank you for giving me the extra, for doubling it up on me. No, I still got the
weight
barbell, and the bumpers, and everything else because I used to do CrossFit, back in the day. But kettlebell work is just freaking amazing. But anyway,
I had AI redo my workout because of what I'm on, all the stuff I'm on.
Yeah,
and it gives me 2 days a week upper body. So I do a bench press, and then there's my main one, and then after that it's all supersets.
Yeah,
supersets.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's like, so you hit both muscle groups at the same time, and it's a full set, and you're done, and then you're like, so it's so much faster to get through that, and I do that 3 times a week now versus just hit each body part once time a week kind of thing.
Well, that's what they're finding, right? Is what we learned before versus what they give you now. Hey, so depending on what you read up on, I know this isn't a fitness one, but we'll stick with it.
Well, the whole thing, I used AI to do it, and I actually have an actual app that works with it that I created. So
nice.
Yes. That's how we tied it into the story now.
There you go. Well, and this is where you and I swapped places. Normally, I'm the one running around, and what I ended up doing this weekend was when we built my website and when I worked with the marketing team and everything else, I didn't really have anything. I had flashcards, physical flashcards, and that was it. So went and asked. First, I went to ChatGPT because I have a longer history with it, and said, "What do you know about me and what products that I now offer?" So did that. Then said, "Okay, what would you change about my marketing, about the website, the email campaigns, all that?" And he gave me one. I threw it to Claude and said, "Hey, listen, this is what ChatGPT says. What do you think?" And kind of pitted them against each other. And
did you use SB7 at all?
Is that Sonnet?
No, the SB7 is the story branding framework.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about.
You have to use it in your website.
Right.
You have to be the guide. You have to not be the hero. The problem is we set up all of our website as us as the hero.
Well, that's exactly what it says. You tell people what you do, but you're not telling them their win in it. And so that's what.
So what I would tell you to go back through, ask it, does it know the SB7 framework?
Yeah.
And they'll go through all that and then say, what do you think about my whatever we have created? And it'll show you, this is what you have now. This is how it would be different if you did it. And here's your villains and here's your other stuff. And it drastically changed my Big Hangry Media site. Drastically.
How did you get it to look though? So this is one of the frustrations I had with it. No, not that. It's saying,
how did I get it to look?
No. You're not listening. Shut up for a minute.
I didn't hear the first part.
Yeah. I said, how did you get it to go look at your website? Because every time I say, go look at my website, it says, I can't look at those things live. So did you go, I then went in, what I was doing.
Did you give it the URL?
I gave it the URL. Right.
And then this is Claude?
Yep. In Claude.
That's
doing it under chat or co-work or where?
I did it. Well, you could do co-work would work fine for you for what you're doing. It would work
I'm wondering
just fine.
if it will. I'll play with it while we're talking here.
But you tell it. So one of them asked me to give it permission, and then it got permission. But I have it. It never stopped me. But I also, you know what? Actually, the websites I didn't use in Claude, I was doing it in Lovable because I'd already done stuff in Claude.
See, Lovable works, but Claude says I can't do that. So what I had to do was go to each page on my website and go file, print, create a PDF of it.
Yeah, but who has the website? Is it a WordPress?
It's a WordPress.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So like some of the people who created them through Lovable, which everybody was like, Lovable's horrible because they're SEO. Well, now that all changed as a week or so ago. They have the whole things to put it together. Well, you can set that up to go to GitHub, and then your Claude can search your GitHub.
All right, so I'm looking right now.
You're not there,
so. Yeah, I just went and typed, I want you to look at my SB7. I want you to look at the SB7 framework and review my website. And it's thinking, so I'll see what it comes back with.
And maybe you have to tell it go search, or I always tell it to search my website, or kind of thing.
We'll see what it comes back with. But I can tell you, over the weekend, it said it couldn't. So now it's saying, let me pull up the website and review it with SB7 Lens. So now it looks like it's working. But over the weekend, it said I don't have access to view your website. But I did go in. I added in a bunch of things this weekend, like connections. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, under the co-work. For co-work. Yeah.
Well, I did for both, for chat and the other one. So when you click on the plus, when there's the extra sign, there's a connectors. And so I was like, oh, well, what connectors do I need? And I was actually going to hit you up and say like, oh, what
do your Gmail one.
I did my Gmail. I did my Google Drive.
Because what you can have it do is go back through all your emails and have it look for opportunities that you missed or are still available for like people asking you to speak at, whatever it is. I had to go back and look at all the people who want to be on my website, all the offers of sponsorship that they wanted me to do different things.
You mean podcasts?
Podcast is one, but then the other thing is affiliate, where they wanted me to do a video or something for them.
Right. You said for them to be on your website. So I thought.
I have podcast. Thank you. Dude, I told you I'm tired. I need a day off from my last week, from weekend and Monday.
So look, it was really cool because ChatGPT, like we talked about, I was hesitant to move over. But I went through it and I said, here's my entire workflow from Go HighLevel. And I went through, and now this part sucks, is I asked them both, how do I get the workflow out of ChatGPT or out of HighLevel? And it said, oh, you can't. So I had to go manually do some work, but it added a lot of things into it. So
you can't. So you can set up Claude to go through your HighLevel, or actually be put in HighLevel.
See, there's not a connector there. So how'd you do it?
Can I finish?
No.
Shut up. You're going to have to learn how to use a terminal. And
Yeah.
you have Apple, so it's not as difficult. But you create a terminal. In the terminal, you add those connections.
Yeah.
So that it can do it in the terminal. So what I told you before, go to see Nuno had just dropped the other day when I told you to go see Nuno. He had the stuff how to do that in HighLevel. He had just dropped a new video right after I told you that on Thursday. And it was really one that he had before, but it was newer. I think it just cleaned up a little bit and added some stuff. He has everything to do how to do that perfectly, so you can do that.
Gotcha.
Because if you can get your Claude into HighLevel, you can tell it, go find my tags, go make sure move these people from here, go through my my email and add those people into HighLevel as new whatever. And you just need to, that's easy. You're just telling it what to do. Here's the thing is, a lot of times we need to tell our assistants what to do. And by the time we tell our assistants what to do, it's just easier for us to do it.
Agreed.
With Claude, you're just telling it how you would be telling your assistant, but it's doing it at the same time.
Well, that's what's interesting is I did two things. What it couldn't do, I said, create me a checklist to go do it. And it actually gave me one. So like I was looking at a list earlier, it gave me like, I want you to go do all these things in, let me see, let me go back over to.
Well, did I tell you I'm making a whole thing about that? So I'm working on an app that for me, or I don't know if it's going to be an app, but basically I have 5-year plan, right? A 4-year plan on how I told Claude, hey, I want, I was told by Perry that there's going to be one company that has one person in it's a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
How do I become that? And it gave me a 4-year plan with everything I'm doing.
Nice.
So the problem is there's stuff I have to do weekly and certain things in order to meet that. Mm-hmm. And I have other stuff I do. So I went to Claude and I said, and this is on one of my walks I'm talking to, and I'm like, is there a way we can do this, and so we're creating an app that will do that, which will also go through your current chats that you talk to, either Opus, told you, need to go home, Claude or Chad, right? Mm-hmm. Chat GPT. And because you sometimes have conversations with what you want to do, but that doesn't get put into what you're trying to do. So it will search that kind of thing. And this all came about because I created this thing for Craig, which it calls you in the morning at 8 a.m. and talks to you in his voice, and it's a way to be like coached by him in the midday, and then in the evening it'll call you, see how your day was, help you plan out the next day for the next morning and all that stuff. Well, I wanted the same thing for me on what I'm doing from me, but I'll probably have somebody else's voice because I don't want to be told by me what to do. But I'm just the whole thing I'm creating so that you can stay on projected to get to the 4-year plan for everything we want to do, because we have these 4-year, 5-year, whatever plans we have, but we don't have things in place to keep us in that direction. We get sidetracked, just like you talk about all the time. Yeah. I can't do this because, well, it won't let you. It'll put on your calendar and it will talk to you to constantly tell you what you need to do that day, what you got going. And I'm like, this would be perfect. So that's what I'm going to work on. Anybody can do it. You can just have Claude do it yourself through co-work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably the thing that came in is chat was definitely good, but Claude definitely a whole other level of just reviewing everything. But I do PhD. I like just getting the stuff and having chat come up with a plan. And then I feel like it pisses off Claude to do a better job.
No, Claude would just do a better job, period.
Right. But my history, even though I said download my history, I feel like chat goes, well, here's a little, you can give it to Claude instead of going through. So I pit the two against each other.
Well, I would just tell Claude to go find you and research everything about you and store it.
Well, I gave it all my, one of the things I did was going back into AEO. And for those who don't know what that is, it's AI engine optimization. But I went through it and I said, okay, I want to be known as one of the better Dallas speakers to be hired. And they go, great. How come you don't have Dallas listed anywhere? I'm like, damn it. So it gave me, I went through every one of the bureaus I'm listed in, Talkadout, Salem Speakers, Speaker Exchange, all that. And it said, you need to go add it in these different locations. So little things we didn't think about because most of our stuff is copy and paste. And it went through and said, well, great. If you want to be known as a Dallas keynote speaker so you can do more things there, why aren't you listing yourself as Dallas? I'm like, good point.
Because my name is Brian.
Yeah. But
not Dallas. My name isn't Dallas.
Well, the funny thing is all those bureaus, list you as like where you located, but
Right.
it said in none of your write-ups, which
I
is what
understand.
more of AI is doing. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing about being local and having people around you know about you besides everybody else.
And it even gave a checklist, and that's what I was looking for a minute ago. I can't find the checklist now. Like, go and fix
Wait,
your
but hold
Google
on. You
My
got to remember,
Business.
desktop
Yeah.
does not talk to the other one.
Well, no, I've been using the desktop because
I'm just saying that the
yeah.
search.
Yeah.
So if you actually use the other one for a minute or whatever,
Yep.
it's not going to be in your desktop.
which is crazy to me. But let me see downloads.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll
So
change
yeah, here
that.
it is. So it created and it downloaded to a Word document, but it created an AEO. Oh, screw it. I'll share it with you. Hold on.
Well, it's nice is the HTML things that creates the artifacts so you can share, which is auto thing in a lot of the stuff now in co-work and other stuff. Like I do projects all the time for my morning show, and it
Oh, do you?
creates this beautiful, yeah. Well, and now I just say I'll create the show and update the numbers, and then I'll add one or two things, but my show is done in a minute.
So let me see. Can you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just went through it and I said, all right, well, I know I want
Can
to.
you make it a little bit bigger?
How would I do that?
Just
Oh
go
yeah,
up-
the document. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I didn't know if you meant in here or what.
Just a little bit bigger, not too much more.
It's not let me do it from here.
All
Hold
right,
on,
here,
change
let me do it on
screens.
my
Hold
side.
on.
I'll do it on my side.
No, I can do it. There you go.
Oh, it didn't work for me. There you
Yeah.
go. It works. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now everybody can see it on their phone.
Yeah. So basically, I said I want to be known as a Dallas keynote speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So it told me, hey, when you go and look at it, basically you fail. But it told
Right.
me, here's what I need to go fix on my speaker page.
Right.
Right, adding these little things in. Then after that, it said, okay, well, you're done with the speaker page. Why won't it let me scroll? Okay, hold on.
So that's in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through the Word document. So in here, so it's like, hey, first off, why aren't you saying it? That takes a second. After that, it told me, okay, you need to go to your Google business profile, which I do have, but it also told me these are all the things I need to add in. So I told it, give me a checklist.
You don't have that already?
I have it, but it was saying like, hey, you need to go add in little extra things like, yes, you've got that you're located in Dallas, right, as your service, but it said like you need to add all these additional things
Gotcha.
below it. So each
Corporate
checklist
trainer,
is
Dallas.
what else to add in here.
Right.
And then it's reminding me like, hey, you've spoken and been at some really cool things. Why aren't you adding these back in? So and then under services, like, so the thing
I was telling
cool.
you, add your updated pictures from Inman.
Yes, from Inman, which I did in January. So that's the thing I think people forget is you need to constantly be
What's
updating
Gig
yourself.
Salad?
It's another website you can go to to find gigs.
Oh.
So far, it's free. I've had one person reach out to me and they went radio silent. So, and then of course, third party, go in here. So like it said, hey, currently you don't say that Dallas is in
Right.
there. Well, it does say location Dallas, but they're right. When I went to the Speaker Exchange website and I typed in Dallas, guess who doesn't show up? I don't.
Brian.
So I went and added that in as a Dallas-based keynote speaker.
So what you're getting at is it went through and told you what you should do as a marketing person, which somebody else should have told you to do.
Correct. Yes, but it doesn't know all the things. Like, that's the interesting thing is people know their own stuff. So, for example, what Joel could have told me, hey, you need to fix this and go high level, but Joel doesn't know where else I'm at in other things. Then somebody
I know, but I wasn't picking on names, but since you
Yeah.
brought the name up,
Yeah.
he has Claude. He has,
right.
He could say this, if I'm a marketing company for somebody and that's what I'm doing,
Yeah.
I'm going to go through Claude and see how I can make them better. That's the difference. That's why I don't take time and do a $2,500 website if I'm helping somebody, because I can't give them everything they need to get
Right.
in that amount of time. I would be making $10 an hour if I did that.
So I did think beyond that, it also said, hey, here's other directories you need to be considered on. So I do have a Speaker Hub profile, but I need to go fix it. But I've never heard of Sessionize. I've never used Clarity. And of course, NSA, I'm not a member of, but
Why
it
not?
gave me additional ones. I've heard
cost.
pros and cons. Steve was always anti that stuff. So I never got into it. But then it says, hey, look, then go back to your own website. So it gave a
your
lot
schema.
of good stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, create blogs, which Rob Onspach has been on me on that for a while. That I
Yeah, but
haven't
you
done.
can have them made and posted in HighLevel.
Correct. And that's what I need to get on. So anyway, it gave me a checklist. And then what do you even do after every speaking event? So I am good about posting a recap, of the events and where I'm at, city, and all that kind of stuff. But I did think it was interesting, LinkedIn posts gets indexed by Google. Like that's not something I was doing it, but I was doing it to keep my LinkedIn going. I didn't realize Google was paying that much attention to LinkedIn.
Yeah. Well, because it's the business site. If you do nothing else, just do LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yep. And then here, what about all the podcasts you've been on? So I do have a podcast page on my website. And then it tells you, even in LinkedIn, what else are you doing? So it was just interesting to have it. People know what they're familiar with, but for it to give other things that are out there, I thought it was a good checklist of what I can do, or hand off to your team if you've got a pod or anything else. And I did like this, how, once a month, go and Google your own name. So things that Steve told us once before to do, but it's a nice reminder like, hey, start of a new month.
You could actually set Claude up to go Google your name once a month for you.
That's what I say. If you did the co-work, you could set that up.
You can set it up in Claude code through the terminal too. There's so many things you can do.
Yeah. So anyway, it was just an easy way I spent this weekend. Now I'm going through and I'm making the changes that it's telling me I should have already done a long time ago. So what do I have this week? Because I'm not traveling. I've got more downtime than anything else. So it was a nice checklist to go see.
Did it come back with your website yet?
So I got distracted. Let me see. Co-work. Let's see. It did. It basically said I suck.
Put it up. Show it up.
Let me change windows here. Hold
I
on.
just dropped it down. You're gonna have to remove it.
That's fine.
You didn't say you sucked. It's just you're not. Nobody's telling us. This stuff's been around forever,
right?
But nobody's reinforcing it again. This is, and you got to tell it. Like, I have one day it did one, and I said, okay, I want Star Wars, not My Cousin Vinny, as my box office hit. So can you fix this, please?
Yeah. So here you go. So
a little bit bigger. Can you make it a little bit bigger?
This one I can't make bigger. I don't think.
Well, it's your website. I mean, it's the window it's in.
Right, but it's on the desktop version.
Gotcha.
So, you can do it. Okay. So for anybody using the Mac, Control and the plus sign will make it bigger. So basically all I put in there is what you said. Hey, go look at the SB7 framework, look at my website. So it did pull it up today. Yesterday I complained about it, but I did this under co-work versus chat. So it might be the difference.
Yeah. So chat is just asking questions. Co-work is for this. That is just from now on, don't do anything in chat except for questions and how to do things, and put in co-work for everything else.
Well, here's what's interesting. This window over here where it says web search was a connector I went and added, because there was some different ones like that I had to go say yesterday, add all these different things. So what we're talking about, anybody doesn't know, come here, the plus sign, say like, what are the additional connectors I want?
Right.
And I was amazed what all's out here. So
Google Drive.
Yeah.
Calendar.
A lot of legal stuff I thought was interesting, which I know they just released a big Claude legal last week. But, like Slack is in here, but a lot of things, HubSpot, if you're using that.
Well, my problem is they only allow one Gmail account.
One Gmail account. And I thought it was interesting that they don't have HighLevel in here yet.
Probably
so they've got a lot of different ones, like you can see.
Yeah, but HighLevel is more selective with what you're trying to do. So you connect it a different way through the terminal.
Yeah. But look at all the ones that are legal. So describe legal,
You know what that means.
They're getting ready to look.
The attorneys are really coming after you. They're helping attorneys do more to,
Yeah. Look here, Everlaw, Law Dog. I mean, not Law Dog.
DocuSign.
Yeah. Top
so the
Counsel.
Vercel is a site that you can go live that controls your website and other things. Zapier. Yeah. All right. We're good. Go back to the other thing. We can connect
so going back here, but then I thought it was also interesting. Then you can come into plugins, right? And now they've got these. So it's interesting because we've always seen like, hey, make us more productive. But I thought it was interesting that now they have a marketing one.
And you haven't even plugged it in.
Right. Well, I thought I did the marketing one. Hold on. I added productivity yesterday. I can add marketing.
There,
all right, there, that's all it is. You just hit plug.
It goes away. See, it went away.
Yeah. Well, no, it moved
went up there
here.
with the. I know, but now you can do settings. Now you can set it up.
Right. But look at all the ones that added. But I did think it was interesting that it added a sales one.
Hey, look at the brand voice.
Where was brand voice? Hold on.
You just passed it.
There you go. Okay, brand voice. I'll go ahead and add that. Yeah, so because you took the class with Nuno. I haven't done it on how to set
Dude, we didn't
everything
do
up.
this. We did not do this in
Oh,
the
you didn't do
class.
this?
No.
Okay.
No, it was all Claude code, not desktop.
Yeah. So yeah, you can come in here. I mean, I thought it was
Figma.
interesting. I didn't understand why you really wanted to put a Zoom one in there. But yeah. There you go. Free AI powered SEO. Audit your websites. We'll just add that one while I'm in here just nerding out.
Customer support. What's the customer support you went by? Right there.
Triage tickets and things. That's more if you got a what do you call it? Help
They have a
desk.
PDF viewer you can add in.
Right. Saw that. What else was I looking at? I was just playing with it the other night while I was running tools.
What's a Bright Data plugin?
I thought this one, product tracking, like where's it all going in? What was the one you're asking about?
Right there under Zoom.
Bright data?
Bright Data. Yeah, well, I can't read that.
Web scraping, Google search. Okay,
So that's
I'll add
like,
it.
yeah. So instead of web scraping, you can, yeah, that's. So what they're saying is eventually Claude work,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking of this. They're just saying that eventually that's where everybody's going to go.
Yes.
Instead of Claude code, they'll do it all in Claude work.
And that's what was interesting is how many people have left ChatGPT just over political reasons and everything else.
I see. I would never, because the image graphics are so much better.
Yeah. So here you go. Small business, pre-built workflows for payroll, planning in a month. Like it's got so much in here. Like I was even thinking between this and Lovable, why don't I track my expenses better when I go on work trips? You know, so
Well, you could add something where you just take a picture of it and itemized it for you, and then create it to where it can upload it into your QuickBooks or Quicken.
well,
whatever
and do you even
use.
need QuickBooks or do you go create your own version
No,
in
you
Lovable?
use those other ones.
Yeah.
They're already created. You don't, because you're gonna. They have other stuff, and if your accountants are using those, they're not going to use yours.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was just interesting.
All right,
what
out
all
of here,
the-
back to the thing, because I know you don't want people to know how bad you were.
Yeah,
Why are you closing out? Just close out the big thing.
I am, but I couldn't get to it until all those were in my way.
Yeah.
So yeah, so 2 out of 10 score here for the character because I made it more about me.
Yeah, because who named you the Doctor Decoder or something?
I don't remember what event I was at. So it used to be the people problem solver, and the problem was that somebody has that one patented. So they came after me. They said, "Hey, can you stop using this? I don't want to have to go through an attorney." I'm like, "Yep," and they sent me their trademark and everything else.
Yeah, so they trademarked it, not
Yeah.
patented it.
Well, they trademarked it and then went through like the patent office, and they actually have that name. So kind of like what's his name has three-peat. Who is it? Pat, some basketball coach, coined the term three-peat.
Yeah, but that's
And-
trademarks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and copyright and stuff.
Yes,
like
and copyright. So
trademark is what? Yeah, but I mean anybody can trademark something.
true, but you can put a TM after anything that you've been working on.
No, TM just means it's in the process and it's been submitted. It's just not registered yet.
Right.
But
correct.
some people put just TM to keep people away until they figure it out.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah,
it's
so
interesting
your
what's
guiding sucks.
happening. Yeah. Well, what's
So
worse,
tell
character
it,
path,
tell it
yeah.
to give you 3 examples of how your website should be, and start with the hero.
Well, I think it went down like, your call to actions, avoiding failure, like 1 out of 10. But it did say at the end, like, here's what I'd swap out, right? Rewrite your hero section.
Right, but you can actually have it. Well, this did it in Claude for me, or no, that was done in Lovable. Sorry, that it created 3 different looks for this one. But
Yeah.
I mean, it took one. I mean, everybody's website I went through as soon as I started playing with this a week ago,
Yeah.
and changed everything.
I do like just little things that you don't think about. And that's going back to what we're talking about before this is it's interesting because quote unquote agencies, things of that nature, what are you using them for? So we know several people who used to have marketing agencies, right? Like, and now they're having to get out of it and move to AI because their clients are leaving them in droves. So all the people that used to be agency owners are now AI experts because they were losing their agencies because of AI.
You can be an agency but not the way that they
Used to
whole
be.
thing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
high level model where you just sign people up and they go underneath you.
Yeah.
That's people, and just like you're finding out yourself that you can do a lot of the stuff yourself, and or that's what they want because they don't have capacity anymore.
Right.
I'm
Well,
just waiting for all my, the one I'm in to say we can't do this anymore because we don't have it, we don't have enough people going through this, because I can see where I can get away from it myself.
And that's what a lot of people are up against. So a lot of people we know through Ignite.
The VAs, we're talking about the virtual assistants. Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, like, all the people we know through Ignite, that they used to have agencies because it used to be so difficult. And even you and I talked about, what was it, 2 years ago, this one guy, we're like, hey, how much would it take to do your website? And he's like, $8 grand. Yeah.
But that was just to move it from one place to another place in WordPress.
Yeah.
And it was like, it took me all of like 20 minutes, and that was including reading on how to do it. Did I lose you there, sir?
Yeah, sorry, an email came in, I got distracted. It was something with my kids' park time. So anyway, let's see, volunteers. Okay, sorry, I was looking at tomorrow's one of her days. I got to pick it up, and I came in. I was like, "Damn it! Now I got to redo everything." Little changes, anyway.
Little things I don't have to deal with anymore.
Right. Yeah, that's the fun.
I got other problems.
All people, like, when I went to my 30-year high school reunion, like, yeah, my kid's going off. We're looking at colleges. I'm like, cool. Mine's going into second grade. So starting later in life than most. But anyway, that's where I spent the whole weekend, was asking Claude to go and do a deep dive into things and tell me, where am I effed up? And one of the things was like, don't you have all these things? I'm like, yeah. He goes, why isn't that in your workflow? And I'm like, oh yeah. So it gave me a complete thing that I'm gonna have to redo the workflow in HighLevel.
What I would tell you to ask it, can you help me, like a virtual assistant, and create these things that can be done monthly, weekly, daily, that needs to be done? Help me figure that out. And it's going to tell you, yes, I can, but you're going to have to leave your computer on.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do first is, where am I leaving money on the table? And it said, don't you have a bunch of products and services? Yeah. Why are you only talking about flashcards? I'm like, oh yeah, because when we first built the website 3 years ago, that's all I had was flashcards. And
that's the problem with WordPress.
Right.
It is so difficult to make quick changes on the fly, what we need to do in today's world. Mm-hmm. It's so much better to build it in other things.
Right. And that's where it's funny. I just, right before this call, met with another guy who has a bureau agent and everything like that. And he was showing me some of his stuff. And what did I see in the corner? The little lovable heart. And I go, oh, so you're vibe coding this? And he's like, yep.
Yeah. Did you tell him you can go in there and get that turned off?
Get rid of it? Yeah, we were talking afterwards. So he's another guy. I may list myself on a bureau with him. So it's interesting, right? Because
I told you to create your own bureau.
Well,
he's doing.
Oh, well, he's a guy because he knows. Excuse me. Now I sound like you. He knows all the bureau agents. I don't know any agents. That's what I'm trying to get into.
But people trust you. There's a difference.
Yes, but companies go to bureau agents. That's what I'm trying to build the relationships this year. Steve was always anti-corporations until they paid him a lot of money. He was an associations guy. The problem is the association speaking has gotten smaller. So they're going more towards, you're not seeing big events. You're seeing the smaller, like speakeasy type events where people are going 30 people max instead of 300 to 500 people. And so
they pay more. They pay more.
They pay more, and people aren't wanting to go to big events. They're wanting that small, what's in it for me? If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, that's like I like the Growth Hacking Live last year. We're going to have it again this year.
Yep.
It's going to be bigger, but the problem is, the question is really going to be is how many people aren't going to show up, even though your ticket's free. You got to pay for your room, and you got to pay for your flight there.
Yes.
So unless you live in Dallas or around Texas, you got to fly there, and and if this war's still on, it's going to be expensive to fly.
Oh, my Ubers in California last week, it was still cheaper than getting a car. So the price of rental cars were expensive, and then the price of gas, and then the price to pay to valet at the hotel because they only have valet parking.
You forgot about insurance.
Yeah, I saved $100 by Ubering everywhere, and I saved time because when I Uber, what do I get? Well, then there's two people in the car, so we can use the what do you call it? The HOV lanes or whatever that you guys call them out there. So that's a whole other reason that I went ahead and did Uber for everything, is that it used to be cheaper to get a car than it was to Uber everywhere. It was an hour drive in Uber to get from LAX airport to Buena Park. It was $10 a day to go to the dealership. And then it was $40 to drive in the morning to go to the mortgage company. And then it was $100 to the airport. but it was still $100 cheaper in the long run, and I got to work from the back seat.
Right.
And that's where the future's headed, right? With a lot of different things. I mean, obviously, if
I
you
don't
have
know.
your own car-
The future, the gas will go back down.
Right.
Everybody will have vehicles like Teslas that are auto driving, and you can
Yes.
get the hell out of the way. And the problem is going to be the rush hour traffic won't be so rush hour because they'll all have the thing set up to go at a certain speed, so that it's all set up at the right thing. And
Here's what I'm curious to: once they go driverless, like Waymo, Tesla, all these other cars.
Well, they recalled some of those, right?
Oh yeah. Well, have you seen all the Waymos that keep getting into traffic jams with each other?
Well, not that. There was a whole bunch of them went to one neighborhood or something like
Yeah.
that constantly. They had to recall all those.
Yeah. My question is, if it's an autonomous car that you're taking, and just like if you're having an Uber driver, will they get a pass to let you, if you're sitting in the back seat, take the HOV lane or not?
I don't know. I thought you were talking about tickets because they're starting to ticket the driverless cars.
Oh, I did not see that.
The company are getting the tickets, yeah.
I did see that. I have friends who have Teslas that you still have to sit in the front seat and you have to touch the steering wheel occasionally. And so then the question becomes, can you have drinks and still let Tesla drive, or are you still considered the driver?
You're still considered the driver.
Right. So that until you're
Give us
not
10
at the
years.
steering
Give
wheel-
us 10 years.
Well, now we can go.
You
to
can't you can't
have
have an open container in a vehicle in California, period.
Texas too,
Yeah,
right?
So
Texas
it doesn't
used to
matter if you're in the front or back seat. You can't drink in the car.
No, is the car picking you up from the bar is my point, right? But with what they're getting ready to come out with, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, where they're going to now try and determine the how impaired is a driver based on the cameras they want to put in to watch you drive.
That's
Whole
why I'm
other-
keeping my truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I miss about my truck is a push button start, but it's okay. I can turn the key still.
Yeah.
I'm still.
Are you
not that
sure?
old.
That just it is funny. I got into one the other day and I was like, "Where's the button to start it?" And then because it was a rental car, and sure enough, it was actually one that had to pop out the key again. I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Damn, I got a cheap Geo
I know. Next thing you know, I'm gonna have to roll down the windows
manually.
Yeah. But anyway, we
All right,
kind
take
of
us
gone
out.
a bunch of different directions. But the point of it all being is, like, you've been doing this stuff for a while, but I just spent one weekend. I said, okay, look over everything. And it gave me step by step of what to do. It was funny. I sent the marketing email over to the company and they're like, "You want us to do all this?" I'm like, "No, I'll be able to do a bunch of this stuff. But this, I want you to tell me, is this right?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's exactly how you should do it." I'm like, okay. So all I need
And
now.
do you want us to? And so that when they asked, "Do you want us to do this?" They said it's going to cost you money, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They gave a price tag of what it would cost. To do
What
it.
am I paying per month then?
That's exactly what we talked about. So
You're better off to get that pod and have them do all that.
Yes and no. They're still cheaper than a pod is right now. But
But you get 40 hours. You get 10
Right.
hours a week.
if I start getting,
You don't
to
get 10
where-
hours from them a week at all.
Right. No, it don't. They overview what I do and tell me what I did right or wrong, and then fix things I break. That's what I'm paying for right
But
now.
the pod, you just tell them what to do, and they
Yes.
do it and fix it when they break it.
No, that's true.
So yes, it's a little bit more,
Right.
But if you take away because you're already paying for one currently.
Well, I'm paying for multiple. So that's one of the big debates, right? Is
because you're paying for one that's yours because you were getting some
An
affiliate
affiliate.
under it.
Correct.
You only need that one. So you
Right.
just need to move that one you have. I'm not saying to do it, but if somebody
Yeah.
was going to do it, just merge the one you have with somebody else into that one. That's all you need. You don't have more than 3 of your own personal websites.
agreed. That's what we're talking about. It's-
Or the what's not that? It's the subdomains. The domains.
yes,
Yeah.
correct.
The sub accounts.
Well, because we have Ignite, they give you one for free as part of Ignite too.
But that's not yours.
I know,
And
that's not mine.
And,
That's-
and the question is, if you move the stuff there, then eventually you have to move it out, right?
Exactly. If they ever get rid of it or anything.
And can you get affiliate that way? No.
No, you can only get affiliate if you own one directly.
Yeah.
so
So
that's,
that's
where
what
I
you.
am.
So for $97, that's the minimum price.
Yep.
You can still have it all, and then pay a pod, the $500 and some dollars, or the $600 and some dollars for $40 a month. So that's So you're at $700. Everything you want done every week.
Yeah.
Once you're caught up, then you can have them go through my email and tell me what is not going on that I'm not doing. Or you just do this. Use CoWork. Tell it what you need done when you're finished, and have it set that all up for you so you can do it that way. That's what I
Right.
would tell you to do. And then the question would be, ask this to it.
Yep.
my website right now is in WordPress.
Right.
How do I create something that can update that fast? Is it better to do it somewhere else? It's going to say, "Oh, I can do it for you."
Right.
Do it over here, Mr. Yawner.
I'm sorry.
Why don't you take us out since you're so tired? It's 40 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on today. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining Ed Parcaut and myself on Aces 53 here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's usually just Ed and I. We're going to start adding in guests here and there.
Now you're back and you're only got your child to deal with.
I know, but then I was like, I got to go. I'll be on the road again soon. Soon, my friends.
Just
soon.
focus on what you need to get done and get it done.
Exactly.
While you're on this downturn. Go.
That's what I'm doing. So, all right. Anyway, we're here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. Thank you for being here with us. Ed, as always, thank you for leading it even when I'm not here. And the best way people can support us, just like us, share the information. So
that's right. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.